First, societal interests are important and have gotten lost, and it could be otherwise with a societal move towards emphasizing that banks need to be good corporate citizens and need to emphasize the need for responsibility.
Our solution is relatively simple, and I think a lot simpler than some of the thousands of pages of statutory regulation and rulemaking that we've had, particularly after the Dodd-Frank Act. Now, I'm not saying we ought to repeal all of that, but what we're suggesting here is quite simple and really could supplement existing regulation and might even be combined with repealing some regulations for financial institutions that are really willing to enter into the personal responsibility contracts that we're talking about. The solution is really very simple. You say, look, if you're going to make a lot of money in one of these financial institutions, $1, $2, $3, maybe $15 million a year, I mean, that's an awfully big payout. The other side of the transaction, of the contract that you have with the financial institution, is that you, the officer of the financial institution, or the highly compensated banker, agrees that if the institution is hit with a substantial fine or judgment due to conduct during the time in which you received this lavish compensation, that you're going to be paying part of that, a significant part of that, out of this money that you received as compensation. You're going to have to give it back. And if the financial institution fails, that you'd be contractually be under the same rules that the partners were in Goldman Sachs, Lehman Brothers, Salomon Brothers, Morgan Stanley. Every good reputable Wall Street firm in the old days was a partnership, and you just simply agree in return for your 10, 20, whatever $1 million a year you're getting in compensation, that if it fails, you're going to put a substantial portion of your personal assets on the line to help pay back the debts. It's a quite simple proposal. It's not radical. It's not that different than that which investment bankers had with their relationship with their firms in the 1940s all the way through the late 70s. And I think we can bring a lot of responsibility back to the financial sector if we do this.
Let me just make one final point, which we haven't stressed thus far, but I think needs to be stressed, which is while if someone wanted to require financial institutions to all be what we call covenant banks with these features, I think that would be fine. But what we advocate is that banks take this on voluntarily, perhaps with a kick in the pants from regulators and perhaps with a kick in the pants from shareholders.